And right after the wall came down in Berlin, Top of the Pops was stormed by some swaggering lads from the north.
23rd of November, 1989. That's the date that the 80s die and the 90s begins. Because that's the night that the Stone Roses and the Happy Mondays appeared on Top of the Pops together.
If you read the music magazines, Manchester's Hacienda Club was already legendary, bringing clubbers and gig-goers together, and the associated bands were being branded Manchester.
Not even come from Manchester, we're fucking Salford, across that bridge.
For those who hadn't heard about the rise of this baggy cultural force, they were about to be educated. The Happy Mondays embraced the entrepreneurial spirit of the age, unlikely poster boys for the government benefit scheme for start-up businesses.
We started really on the enterprise allowance. We're a band and we were with guys that wanted to set up shoe companies and, jam makers and all sorts. So I was sat around this table having this meeting. To us, it was just, black. But the thing was, we worked hard in our band. We practiced, we learnt to play our instruments, we really did graft, right? You don't get anything for nothing, and our aim was, we want to get on Top of the Pops and, we want to be where Duran Duran is.
Why are you on Factory?
Because no one else wants us.
London's Hit Factory had cornered the pop market, but Manchester's Factory Records had captured cool. That's not to say boss Tony Wilson didn't have his eyes on the prize. He knew that a collaboration with Kirsty MacColl would widen the Mondays' appeal.
Thank you for the days, those endless days, those sacred days you gave me.
Brilliant working with Kirsty. It's great being indie, but sooner or later you've got to make some dough.
Wilson's gamble paid off. Against his wildest expectations, the call came from Top of the Pops.
And then when you get Top of the Pops, you think you've made it. Rest of their life is going to be a breeze. And the Roses are on with us.
The Stone Roses were the indie heroes of the year, and Fool's Gold a hotly anticipated release for their fans. Top of the Pops was bringing the baggy shuffle of both bands to an unsuspecting nation.
For us lot, we thought it was the Beatles and the Stones. We're the Stones, they're the Beatles, and we're all going on Top of the Pops. It's going to be great.
I was in the studio. I got a real sense that no one who was working on the show, no one who was in the audience, no one was really thinking, blimey, this is big. I was wandering outside. I was probably going off to get a cup of tea, and I saw Ian Brown and Shaun Ryder sitting on the ledge, and you could tell they were plotting. They were taking long draws on their cigarettes, and they were smiling and they were laughing.
Let's fuck up the bands, right? Ian, you go and play drums with the Mondays, right? I'll go and become lead singer of the Stone Roses, mix up all the bands, and it'll be dead funny, because these lot won't have a clue. He was going to do it, and at the last minute, he changed their mind. But it'd been funny, and then here the cars, the bit of, who's that? He in that? Aren't they in that? But it wouldn't have been, business-wise, a good thing to do, but when you're off your nut, it sounded great.
Shenanigans abandoned, it was showtime.
The Stone Roses are one of two Manchester bands playing on Top of the Pops tonight. They've just finished their Japanese and European tour, and they have a new entry at 13.
The Stone Roses had asked for impressive amplifiers to be put on stage to play down their embarrassment at having to mime. But the bosses didn't want cumbersome props that might slow down their tightly run schedule.
So there's this amazing pivotal moment and everything, but the performances are just shit. But of course, that's part of it. It's like, you don't want them to be professional. They really did not get the memo about lip syncing. Apparently Ian Brown was quite up for doing it as a live vocal, but someone somewhere, probably quite wisely, said, not tonight, Ian.
After the Stone Roses performance, the whole atmosphere changed in that studio, and that was it then, sold.
The audience were hungry for more of this Manchester lark.
If only the presenter could get the Happy Monday's name right.
Now for a band that's come all the way from Manchester. They're called Happy Monday, featuring a very special guest, Kirsty MacColl. The song's Alleluia, and it's number 30.
Happy Mondays, hallelujah. It's not difficult, Jenny.
The Mondays took to the stage oozing insouciant charisma and an unusual onstage dancer.
The wider world was introduced to Bez. Lots of homes, you know, watching Top of the Pops, and lots of families meet Bez.
You were in the audience watching the Happy Mondays. Guess who you'd be watching probably 99% of the time? It's the guy over there, Bez. Camera doesn't go near him.
We'll take a bit of this and that.
You've got Kirsty MacColl there. She looks like their social worker.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. From John Willie Ryder, who lies down beside you, people are sure.
I really can't remember anything about the performance. I really can't. Because, you know, I was off my head for a while. You know, very stoned. And completely in another dimension.
It nearly hadn't happened at all.
I was told by the guy who was the producer of the show at the time that I will never do this show again. I won't get in the building. The reason was, this power-mad little fucker comes along and starts telling me what to do. And, you know, I'm a kid new into this business. You know, it's like, who the fuck are you talking to? I'm the producer. Get out of the way before I batter you.
But it wasn't the end of 1989 quite yet.